Hello there. If you've watched my videos before, you may recognize what this is. This is my logo coin. A friend of mine made these for me a few years ago. He's no longer working in the place he made them, so I'm just about running out of them and it's time to figure out how to make my own. Now I do have a CNC router. It's a hobby machine, so it's not quite as tight as a lot of the professionals. Doesn't do the perfect job, and maybe I haven't set it up well enough to do it perfectly. But I'm going to give it a try. I've designed some of these. They're a little bit different, but quite similar in the software program for the CNC machine. And I'm going to try doing them on this piece of plywood, just as a test. I have pre-coated it with Varathane. I'll explain why in a while. And I'm going to try carving these on there. And I'm going to hold this down with a method I heard about quite a while ago and never tried until recently. To be honest, I didn't try it because I didn't believe it would work, but it does. I'm told this would also work if you want to route something, a profile edge on something, and don't want to clamp it down. What you use is masking tape, painter's masking tape, and CA glue. Now, when I first heard about this, I thought there's no way this is going to work. But what you do is you take a strip of masking tape, put it down on the surface wherever it is you want to hold something down, like this. Put a corresponding piece on whatever it is you're going to be holding down on the back of it. Then you take CA glue and you run a bead of it along one piece of the masking tape. Then you take some accelerator and spray it on the other piece. When you turn this over and stick it down, they stay there, and they stay there very well. Much better than I thought they would, considering that this tape doesn't really stick that well on anything. So I will demonstrate that to you. Let's go over it now, stick these down, and see what I can do about making some logo coins. I have my masking tape down on my waste board, and I have masking tape on the back side of the plywood. Now what I want to do is take a bead of CA glue and run it all the way down this piece. And I'll take my accelerator and spray it on this piece. And as soon as they contact, they're going to be there for good, I hope. Now I want to get this as straight on here as I can. Flip it down. And that should be it. I don't know if you noticed, but this plywood is actually bowed a little bit. So it's down in the center and being held down on the ends more forcefully. Now, doesn't seem to be going anywhere. I'm only doing one row of coins along here. And the tape is wide enough that it should hold the coins in place if the bit in fact goes all the way through. So now I'll set up the router on the CNC machine and get this going. Because of how bowed this plywood was, I have put some clamps in 3 places here just to make sure it holds down here. I'm counting on this masking tape to hold the front end down and to contain those coins. So now let me get the router up here and let's start working on this. I normally put a dust boot on here with a hose from the dust collector so all the dust is taken away. But that would impede your vision, and there's not that much dust with this little V-bit anyway. So I'll turn on the router now and send this thing to work. I will mute the sound so you're not deafened by it. And it looks like just the very last one was not held down on the masking tape. Now this was my very first attempt at carving these, and I can't quite tell until I clean these up. I may need to go a little deeper. I'm going to go clean one of these up and show you what it looks like. Well, I've decided that this little experiment is a failure. Let me give you a little look at why I think it's a failure. All right, now the reason that I put Varathane on the surface first was because I wanted to put black paint in here into these letters. So I'm just going to spray it, I think. I want to paint everything black. And then because the surface is covered with Varathane, I should be able to take mineral spirits on this paper towel and wipe it off the surface, hopefully leaving the black in the carved areas. Now I'm considering this a fail anyway for a number of reasons. For one thing, it's not the size I should have made it. I have a circle around the letters, but the one outside wasn't large enough, so it's not showing up very well. For another thing, carving this plywood is not nearly as nice as carving this 2-layer plastic. There are 2 colors on this plastic, and when you carve away the design, it leaves the black from behind this brownish satin finished color that's there. So this is not going to work for me. It's close, but I think I'm going to have to find some of this plastic. All right, so there you go. The tape, I think, worked very well. I don't know why one of them came off. I probably just didn't push the plywood down firmly enough to it. But 7 of them stayed on, 1 came off, and 3 of them didn't go right through, so I should be able to just, very easily knock those out of there. So I think that the CNC machine works just fine. The carving seems to be good, but I really don't like what it does on the plywood. Now, using this paint technique works very well on larger pieces where you can just wipe it off the surface because of the Varathane using mineral spirits. Works well. So, tape, a success. Carving, not so much, although I think it'll be very good if I can find some of this plastic. So I'm going to have to look around. I don't even know for sure what it's called. I think I've heard it called HDPE. But I'll look around, see what I can find. If I can make it work, I'll come back and show you that. So thank you for joining me. Hope maybe you learned a little bit with the tape trick. Have a great day in your shop. Be safe. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. And please, come back next time. Drop by anytime. Take care. Bye-bye now.